What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Going Rounds podcast. Cheers to anybody that's here already. I just started. What am I talking about? I need this drink today, though, because today marks just a day of a shit week, but also a good week. I don't know. There's been good things and bad things happening all week long. Me and technology have not gotten along this week. That's why I need this drink more than ever. So I'm gonna take a sip and try to forget all that bullshit, but I will let you know what happened. So, obviously, if you know me, I work my work has to do with technology, right? I do a lot of things with a lot of stuff, a lot of technical stuff. So, I've had the week, like just the week from hell. I don't know what's going on. Everything's going wrong. Um, Good stuff though this week. I got a new laptop. It's pretty dope. I'm super excited. Uh, hey, thanks, Patrick, man. Good to see you here, brother. I appreciate the condolences on the stupid week, but it's gonna get better, bro. And hey, I'm gonna hit you up soon because not, I mean, there's a bigger pay per view going on, and I got some ideas. So if you're up for it, be ready, bro. So glad to see you in the chat though. Thanks, man. But yeah, the good things, like I said, I got a new laptop, so I'm in the process of trying to move things over, get things ready, but that's tough, man. There's so much that I do that goes into this podcast. I mean, and I'm not just saying that so people are like, "Oh," but it's one of those things where there's just so many things that are involved, and I have everything set up already on my existing laptop. So it's kind of easy, like easy to know where everything is, making sure everything goes in the right places. But getting a new laptop means I got to move everything around and it's not as easy as it sounds. So I did I did the Rumble podcast like I normally do on Tuesday, and I got the laptop on Tuesday. I was able to get it together and ready enough to do the Rumble podcast because I don't host that podcast. I'm just one of the guys on it, and I don't control that stream or anything like that. So I got a lot less to worry about. But you know, with this podcast, I host it, I stream it, I put everything together for it. So there's a lot that goes into it. Tommy's the one that does everything for the other podcast, so that's all on him. So I was able to get it up and running for that, but I need some time. And between work being crazy and everything else being crazy, I started the week off in New Mexico, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, with all that being said, I have my laptop. It's sitting right here next to me, all pretty and nice and ready to go. It handles shit very well from what I saw on Tuesday. My CPU usage is way better. I'm not gonna get into nerd talk here, but there's a lot of stuff that's way better. It's just a cool ass laptop too. It's a gaming laptop, so I mean it looks cool and it's pretty durable from what it looks like, which is good because I travel with it. And yeah, I'm excited to get it all together next week. This time next week, I will have that shit going. I will have it ready. And then when I have guests on, when I do the watch party podcasts, all that stuff, everything I feel like is gonna run way smoother, and we're not gonna have any of that lag or any of that shit. Um, I feel pretty good about that. So, and I was about to get rid of these things on the bottom of my screen here because they take up a lot of CPU usage, but not anymore. When I have that laptop, I'm gonna be good. So yeah, those are the good things. It's just a hassle, getting everything together and stuff. But other than that, I mean, I got a new watch. Fucking thing doesn't work. Not the way it should. So that's another one of my struggles. I came home on Tuesday. I left Monday morning for New Mexico. I got there, did my work, took the next day to drive back, got home, and it was like just overwhelming amounts of anxiety for me with trying to get the laptop ready to do the podcast at night, trying to get my watch set up and ready to go, all kinds of stuff. I'm just doing too much. That's my problem. I'm doing too much. That's why I gotta have a drink and chill the fuck out, right? I just gotta stop doing so much and putting so much on my plate. But anyway, you know, work stuff has been nuts. I was stuck. I had to work late yesterday. I got stuck troubleshooting some stuff, and it was just a nightmare. But I'm here. I was struggling today to get all this together and ready. But cheers, Clark. What's up, bro? Um, but I struggled and but I'm here and I got everything done and I'm excited for this show. I'm gonna have obviously gonna do a recap of UFC 285 because that was a fantastic card. A lot of great fights. We had a damn me and Clark and everyone else at my house had a damn good time uh watching these fights. I mean, there was some surprises, there was some excitement, not so much downtime, boring stuff, which is good. Uh but yeah, it was a lot of good shit, and we got a couple new champs, which is badass. And yeah, overall, good night of fights. I'm excited to break that down. So that'll be coming up here soon. Uh, let's see what else. Um, oh, and then I'll be going over UFC Fight Night 221. So this is a Vegas fight, but it's not an Apex fight. Which is awesome because that means they're gonna have a crowd. Apparently, it's in the Virgin Hotels. I don't even know what that is, but who gives a shit? It's not the Apex with no crowd and no background sound and just some fucking, I don't know, the Apex stuff. I'm not big on it. So, anyway, that's good. And we got some other news going on. So, yeah, I'm ready. I need to get down there for a fight soon. Yeah, dude, we fucking miss you too, bro. I feel like it's been forever. You haven't been on the podcast in a bit, and that's kind of my fault. I haven't asked you to either for a while, but yeah, I need to get you back on the podcast. You need to get down here and watch some fights with us, and then we'll have some stuff to talk about. It would be badass, and catch up and just fucking hang out, man. It's been way too long. Um, yeah, see that Clark's letting the cat out the bag right now, but yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to have a podcast with you and Clark, my two returning guests that have been on the most. Clark wants to do one with you, so I think it'll be a good one. So yeah, everyone be looking out for that because I have a date in mind. I'll get in touch with these fools and let them know, and hopefully Patrick's down. I know Clark is. um, and yeah, we'll get a fucking 3-person podcast going. It'll be pretty dope. I'm excited for that one. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Like I said, we'll get into some overall news and stuff before we get into the recap of 285. So here we go. Let's get it going. This week we've got Bellator. There's Bellator's. It's one of those cards that's just it's okay, not a bad card. Again, no one ever knows when the hell Bellator's happening because they don't promote the shit out of it like the UFC does. But if you're following it and looking for it, it's there. So, at least this poster tells you what time it's at, I think. Yeah, it does. Friday, March 10th. So that'll be tomorrow. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern on Showtime. It is a pretty decent card, like I said. We got a good headliner with Usman Nurmagomedov, who is he is Khabib's cousin, so that if you're like, I recognize that name, that would be why. So, yeah, we got him. He's the champ right now in the lightweight division, fighting Benson Henderson. And if you've been a fan of the UFC for a while, you know Benson Henderson. He's been around for a bit, and he did some good things in the UFC, and then he moved on to Bellator. So he's fighting for the lightweight championship belt tomorrow night. I think this is in San Jose, if I remember correctly, in the Shark Tank, I think. So that's dope. That's like a staple place for the Bellator to happen. It's like their home turf. But yeah, we also got oof, thought I was gonna off there. Yama. Oh man, I get Gaochi Yamauchi, I think his name is. He's a submission artist, big time submission player. He's got great submissions. All of his fights wind up on the ground, and if you get on the ground with him, it's a bad day for you. So we've got him fighting MVP. So MVP is back after his BKFC fight that he lost. And, you know, if you know who Michael Venom Page is, you know he brings the fire. And he's always out there doing some crazy, wacky, just, he's a showman. That's what he does. Everything from his striking in the middle of the fight, as you can see, to his celebrations when he wins. You know, he showed he was a good sportsman when he lost in the BKFC, and he gave Mike Perry his props. And he also said that, you know, with this upcoming card in April with Luke Rockhold and Eddie Alvarez showing up as new fighters in the BKFC to fight Mike Perry and not Michael Chandler. Oh my God, why did I just blank on his name? Ah, damn it. Anyway, so Venom said that, you know, Luke Rockhold better be ready because Mike Perry is pretty much a pro in the BKFC right now. He knows what the fuck is up. He knows what he's doing. He makes it a dogfight. And, you know, with having that experience of going in there, not having done it before against a guy who knows that ring and knows that format, he's like, you know, Luke Rockhold has, he's got something coming to him. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if anybody saw this, remembers it or whatever, but this is against Cyborg, the male Cyborg. MVP did this crazy flying knee. This was a few years back and actually crushed his skull in the top of the forehead. That's where that knee landed. That's why he falls back and holds his head. That actually like crushed his skull in with that knee, which is insane. And then MVP went on to do some crazy fucking what's it called? Damn it. I don't know, Pokemon. Some Pokemon it was like a Pokemon celebration. It was pretty crazy. But anyway, I think that was his fight that he did that one on. Cuz I kept thinking like, "Damn, dude, you just fucked this dude up bad. Like you could tell he's really hurting." And then you go do some crazy stupid celebration. But that's MVP. Like I said, he's a showman. He's there to fucking show you what's up. So yeah, you got this fight on that card as well. MVP always brings the heat, like I said, so that should be a good fight. If he can stay off the ground and keep it on the feet, he's you know, he's got a good thing coming. But you better watch out if Yamauchi, I think that's how you say his name, if he gets him to the ground, gotta catch them all. Yeah. Fucking Pokemon. Hey, and he was catching them that night, man. That was a crazy celebration. Look that shit up. MVP versus Cyborg in Bellator. You'll see it all. But this was crazy watching him do this and seeing the x-ray of Cyborg's head after the fact. You could just see it caved in and just all of the cracks. It's insane. So, but yeah, like I said, Usman Nurmagomedov, the lightweight champion right now. This is how he got the belt from Patricky Pitbull. He just took him apart, man. And he's a Nurmagomedov for sure, but he's got striking. And yeah, I'm not sure that Benson Henderson has what it takes to hang with a Nurmagomedov, because Benson's a badass, but just to get down with Usman being in that Nurmagomedov family, you know he's a badass. And I just saw that he's got just a fucking murderer's row of a corner. You know, Khabib's not there anymore because he's not cornering anybody. He retired from the sport altogether. I know he trains in Dagestan with his people and his team and friends and family and all that, and he invites people like he invited Cyril Gane actually to go to Dagestan and train with them, and he said give him a couple months and he'll come out of there, knowing what to do with the wrestling and the grappling. So that's a pretty good invitation if you ask me. So Cyril Gane might want to take advantage of that, because as we all know by now, I'm sure that he doesn't know what he's doing on the ground. He can't get up, he can't stay off the ground. It's not good for him. So maybe he'll take him up on that. Anyway, moving on to Benson Henderson. He's kind of like MVP, but he's more of a humble type. You know, he does all the crazy strikes and kicks. He's you know, the low percentage stuff he does a lot, because, you know, I mean, he's taking a chance doing shit like this, some capoeira shit. So my boy JJ knows all about that. But yeah, so Benson's always doing some stuff like this. This is him beating Peter Quilley, that was a damn good fight, actually. And yeah, Benson still got it. He's up there in age and stuff, and he's a true vet. He's been around for a long time, but he's a good dude, and yeah, you know, I'm always rooting for him. I like Usman. He's a younger guy, up and coming, just badass, like ready to hold the belt for a long time. What am I saying, up and coming? He's there because he's got the belt. But you know what I mean? Like, he definitely has what it takes. He won the belt, and he's looking to keep the belt for a long time. So let's see if Benson gives him any kind of fits at all. Yeah, so I'll be watching out for that one. Again, that's tomorrow night on Showtime. 7 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. Oh, wait, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Whatever. Why am I promoting it, man? I don't work for him. It's just something I remembered, so I actually said it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Anyway, other piece of combat sports news. I don't know if anyone saw this during the fights, or I'm sure by now you've seen it on social media. But yeah, they did a filming. This is Jake Gyllenhaal and Jay Heron, who was actually a UFC fighter back in the day, turned stuntman, actually. So he's been in movies with Denzel and a bunch of other people. He definitely parlayed his career into a stuntman / acting career, which is badass, because Jay Heron was a notable name when he was in the UFC. You know, he was a badass, but he didn't rise to the top. He wasn't like, you know, one of those big fighters that was up there in contention all the time. But, you know, he's a good actor, because, I mean, this looks legit. Jake Gyllenhaal actually looks like a goddamn fighter. But, you know, it's acting. So they did this in the middle of, from what I understand, in between the early prelims and the regular prelims. And then they did some other filming in between the prelims and the main event. So that's why, if you saw, there was like a big Ronda Rousey like tribute thing. It went on for a few minutes, like a while, kinda. But yeah, this is what they were doing, filming this. I mean, it looks legit. Like, obviously, Jay Heron, like I said, is an ex-fighter, but he definitely knows how to sell it. A lot of guys don't know how to sell it like that, and he's doing damn good at it. They also filmed a whole weigh-in. They did the interviews with John Anik. They show the booth. I mean, it's all over Instagram and stuff, so I'm sure you've either seen it or you can go check it out there. But yeah, they made it legit, and this is for the movie Roadhouse, if I didn't say that. So, you know, Ronda Rousey was supposed to be starring in this as the woman, like, lead, which was weird because Roadhouse wasn't a woman, right? It was Patrick Swayze. So then they switched it up, and now Conor McGregor is going to be a part of this movie as well. He actually was the one that came out and said what was going to be going on during the fights, and he led off the weigh-in stuff. Right after the regular weigh-ins, he got out there and talked about how, you know, they were going to be filming and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I know Conor has a pretty decent part from what I understand, and he was sitting in the crowd with Jake Gyllenhaal and stuff during the regular fights. So, yeah, it's actually made me kind of excited to see this movie now. I thought, you know, the remakes of some movies kind of suck. You never know what you're going to get with them. This one's looking to be pretty interesting, so I'll be waiting for it to come out and see what it's about. Hopefully it's not corny as fuck. Like I said, everything I saw from here looks pretty legit, so we'll see how that goes. Moving on to the good juicy stuff here. We got the UFC 285 recap. Jones versus Gane for the vacant heavyweight title. And then we had Valentina Shevchenko, the current champ at the moment, versus Alexa Grasso. So I don't think anybody had Alexa Grasso coming out winning this thing, but she sure did. She surprised the shit out of a lot of people, and I'm sure she made a lot of people some money, a lot of money, because if you bet on her to win overall, that got you some money, because Valentina was like at least a plus 600 favorite. I mean, a minus 600 favorite. In some cases, she was in that, I mean, almost minus 1,000. I don't even know. I couldn't keep up. It kept changing. But, yeah, and then if you bet on Grasso to win by submission of all things, like, damn, you definitely got some money. So, I mean, that was a good fight. And the way it ended with Grasso winning was insane. And we'll get to that. But the Jon Jones-Ciryl Gane fight, not very long. It was a pretty quick outing for Jones. Less than a round. I think it was barely over 2 minutes. And yeah, we're going to get into that in a minute too. Because there's definitely some good things to look at and go over when it comes to both of those fights. But the rest of the card was damn good too. I've got stuff from the early prelims. I got stuff from the regular prelims. And then I got stuff from the whole main card. So you know it was a damn good card if I'm covering all of that. Because I usually try to chop it down and only go over the things that like people are going to pay attention to or really care about. You know, early prelim stuff, most people don't give a shit. You know, when you look in the stands during early prelims, there's not even anybody out there. I've been to 2 UFC fights and I've gotten there before any fighters have shown up in a cage. Before the show, you know, as soon as they let me in the door, I'm there and in my seat. And I'm there from fight 1 till the end. So the 2 events I've gone to, that's what I've done. And anytime I ever go, that's what I will do, because that's what kind of fan I am. And so it's weird to see these fans not show up until the main card and stuff. I know you got to commit like hours upon hours. It's like 6-7 hours, but fuck, paying that much money for a ticket, I'm there for it. And I'm gonna get my money's worth, and I'm gonna see everything I can and take advantage of everything I can. Both events I've been to, I've seen fighters walking around the concourse and in the back, you know, where you go get drinks at the bathroom. You get pictures of people. It's cool. You get to talk to people. So, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's an event for sure that you know, can enjoy going to and really appreciate if you're that big of a fan. So for me, getting there early, that's the thing to do. But not everybody's that way. I get it. So, yeah, I don't know why I got into that. But anyway, early prelims, we had Tabitha Ricci versus Jessica Penne. It went exactly how I thought it would. Tabitha Ricci in the yellow, Jessica Penne in the black. You know, it was kind of, I mean, we're talking round 2. The first round wasn't the greatest. Second round, Ricci came out with a fire, and she locked up this armbar. And yeah, that's pretty much what I thought was going to happen. I mean, I figured Ricci was going to get the West. Like, I don't know. I laughed my ass off at this. It was pretty funny. But when I first saw him come out with his shorts like that, I'm like, why, dude? Why the fuck are your shorts rolled up like that? That's so weird. But, hey, he's a badass. He's a killer. I guess he could do what he wants. But, I don't know. Make a different choice in shorts next time. That's just my opinion. But, anyway. So the talk now is Jon Jones versus Stipe. And Stipe was there at the fights, front row. He didn't go in the cage, but, you know, Jon right away said, hey, you know, I want to fight what everyone thinks is the heavyweight GOAT. I want to fight Stipe. So, you know, that sounds like what they're trying to make happen. I don't know that they don't have anything locked up yet. But the way Stipe was talking in an interview I listened to in the MMA hour, it sounded to me like it was a sure thing. And he's saying July 8th for International Fight Week for the UFC, which would be pretty dope. Because that, I mean, they usually put on really, really big fights during that time. It's International Fight Week. It's like the middle of the year, middle of the summer. They have the UFC, used to be the Fan Expo. Now they call it UFC X. Your boy's going to that. I already bought my tickets. I already got my plane. I mean, I already got my flight, and I already booked a room. So, Me and my wife are going. Anybody interested? You want to go check it out? I mean, the UFC X tickets are only $50, so I couldn't pass that shit up. I know staying in Vegas is expensive, especially if you're flying, blah, 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 blah. But if you're down and you want to go, hit me up, because I'm going. And I'm going to try to get some content for the podcast. So, you know, I'll do whatever I can. You know, they have the weigh-ins for the fights and shit. So I'm going to try to get myself into the weigh-ins, see what I got to do that. You know, at UFC X, you pretty much are going to be able to meet fighters, probably take pictures, autographs. Maybe I can, you know, at least get some footage of me with some of the fighters and stuff. That'd be dope. I went to the UFC Fan Expo in 2013, and we met a bunch of fighters. I saw Jon Jones there. I didn't get to meet him. He was doing an interview. I stopped by, watched him for a second. I went by George St. Pierre, saw him for a second, but man, his line was like hours long. We stood in line for 2.5 hours to see Chuck Liddell, but my kids were with us. They wanted to see him. I definitely wanted to meet him and see him, so that was cool. So yeah, we did that. That was dope. I met a bunch of people. Anthony Pettis, Pat Barry, the Tap Out guys, fucking Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Katzengano, fucking dude, there's so many people. Like, I saw a ton of people. It was badass. So I'm excited to go. That's in July. Check it out, look it up, book your shit, meet me there. Let's go. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, that's the rumor. Jon's talking about it. Oh yeah, the other thing Jon said, they asked him at the press conference afterwards, you know, because Ngannou right away tweeted out, "Way to go, Johnny boy." Something about him still being the, you know, UFC champ or the best heavyweight out there, or something like that. And someone asked Jon Jones what he thought of that, and he said, "Francis Ngannou is a pussy." That's what he said. That was his only statement. And someone started asking him another question, and he goes back to it, and he goes, "You know what? I actually like that. I like that statement." He's like, he's a big fucking pussy. So that's what he thinks of Ngannou, which is weird because he was giving Ngannou props for standing up for what he thought was right, wanting to hold out for the money he deserves, and all of a sudden now he's just a giant pussy. So I guess you got to play the game, right? We'll see how that goes. But Jones versus Stipe is exciting. I want to see it. Let it happen in July. That'll be dope. There'll be so much craziness around that UFC X. I'm sure it's going to be great regardless, but, you know, because it always is. They always make International Fight Week a really good card from bottom to the top, just kind of like 285 was, or better. So, yeah, I'm excited. But moving on to this week's event, UFC Fight Night 221. It is in Vegas. It's at the Virgin Hotels or some shit like that. I don't even know what that means. I don't know where that is. Let's see. I had it here. Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. That's all it says. I don't know where the fuck that is. I hadn't even heard of it. But we got Peter Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili, which is a matchup I didn't think I'd see this quick. But Merab's a fucking killer. His nickname's the Machine for a reason. He has great cardio. He has fantastic grappling. And he has the record for a single fight for takedowns. It's like 13. Like 13 legitimate takedowns in a fight. Pretty nuts. So, yeah, that was, I mean, what do you do against, and he's got cardio for days. He does not get tired. He gets put in crazy submissions and doesn't tap. He gets dropped over and over again, and he keeps coming at you. He's like, that's why he's called the Machine. And I know Bert Kreischer is the fucking Machine too, but you know, he may be the Machine in when it comes to drinking, partying, and being a crazy comic, a comedian. But Merab is definitely the Machine when it comes to MMA and combat sports. So But Peter Yan, you know, he's been on this downswing. He's a great fighter. He was a champ. Lost it in some stupid way. We'll have that coming up in just a second. But yeah, this is just one of those fights where Merab can get catapulted to, you know, even higher than he already is. Peter Yan is the number 2 fighter right now. It looks like it says number 2. I don't know. Anyway, he's still ranked high, and Merab is number 3. Is that right? Now I gotta go look at this because it's hard to see it in that picture right there. But I'm gonna bring it up real quick, and I'm gonna look a little closer because I want to make sure that I'm saying this correctly. And I honestly didn't think number 2 versus number 3. Yeah, shit. All right. So that's badass. That always makes for a good fight. Anyway, let's move on. At the bottom of the card here, so we got Said Nurmagomedov. Once again, another Nurmagomedov. Again, another cousin of Khabib. So not only do they have coincidentally the same last name, it's because they're actually related. So we got 2 of Khabib's cousins fighting in 2 different promotions. Shit, sorry. I got something bugging me. All right. So we got Said Nurmagomedov versus Jonathan Martinez. And yeah, you know, the Dagestani wrestling, grappling, what else can you say? That's pretty much what you're gonna get when you get a Nurmagomedov. So, and I'm trying to bring up real quick. I had this up, but apparently I'm dumb and I went ahead and closed it on accident. Jonathan Martinez is 17-4. I mean, he's coming. He's on a 4-fight win streak. I couldn't remember how many fights it was, but his last fight was against Cub Swanson, where, you know, he got that TKO off of leg kicks. So, yeah, that's something you need to have against guys like Nurmagomedov that are, you know, constantly on, you know, on their bike, trying to get at you with those takedowns and shit. You can stop some of that with a lot of these leg kicks. So, that'd be something good. I mean, besides that, though, his other 3 wins are all unanimous decisions, which is good. That means that he was dominant, but, you know, everything going to decision. Yeah. So that's, yeah, man, I can't wait to get my new laptop going. So sometimes things just run slow because I got too much shit going on here. But Nurmagomedov is also on a 4-fight win streak as well. Got a good win against Cody Stamann. That was a submission. Yeah, he's winning by submission or decision. He's got like 1 KO, TKO mixed in there, but yeah. So we're looking at a pretty decent fight here. I'm probably saying that we got a Nurmagomedov winning for sure. But that's just me. He also beat Ricardo Ramos, who is actually the next fight against Austin Lingo, which I don't know why, but his name makes me laugh. What was I gonna say? Oh man, I'm losing my train of thought here. It's because I got something's bugging me in my throat, and I can't seem to like figure it out. So I keep feeling like I gotta clear my throat, and that's obviously not a great thing for anybody listening. But anyway, so we got Ricardo Ramos against Austin Lingo. Yeah, not a whole lot going on here. I'm not. I mean, Austin Lingo's 9-1. Lights Out. Who else was called Lights Out? I don't remember. Lights Out. Was that James Toney that had that nickname? It might be. Anyway, Lingo's coming off of 2 wins. So yeah, then we got the rescheduled fight, Nikita Krylov versus Ryan Spann. So this was the fight from a few weeks ago that got canceled because Krylov Krylov got sick. Like I'm feeling. No, I'm not sick. I'm just kidding. I just keep feeling like I gotta clear my throat. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, Nikita Krylov got sick. He got food poisoning apparently. So he's fighting Ryan Spann in that rescheduled fight. Krylov's coming off 2 wins against Alexander Gustafsson and Volkan Ozdemir. So, I mean, that's no joke. That's a hell of a couple of fights. I mean, he lost to Paul Craig and Magomed Ankalaev before that, but he also beat Johnny Walker. So, I mean, Ryan Spann is a badass, but, I mean, Krylov has a damn good record against a really good strength of schedule. So, I mean, all those fighters are no joke. Ryan Spann, though, coming off 2 wins. His last win is against Dominic Reyes, and he also beat Ian Cutelaba. So, I mean, those 2, Dominic Reyes is a badass as well, even though he just hasn't been doing it lately, obviously. Right, that loss against Ryan Spann was a pretty nasty knockout. So, yeah, he has a loss to Anthony Smith, but he also beat Misha Serkinov. Here's something interesting. I just talked about Krylov beating Johnny Walker, but Ryan Spann lost to Johnny Walker. Now, I know MMA math, not the best thing in the world, but, you know, sometimes you get something off of that when somebody has a win against, when they both have a similar opponent and one has a win, one has a loss. You never know. But anyway, that should be a good fight. It's about time it happens now that, you know, I felt bad for Ryan Spann when it got canceled because, you know, he got pretty emotional about the fact that it got canceled, all the hard work that his team and his coaches put into his training and his training camp. So I'm glad. I hope he got taken care of money-wise that time, and I hope he gets taken care of this time too, and maybe he'll go home with a bonus or, you know, something like that. But either way, at least he gets to fight this time. Hopefully nothing else happens and it gets canceled again, because that would suck. But next off, we got the Battle of the Alexanders. So we got Alexander Volkov versus Alexander Rokhmonov. Damn, I was about to say Rokhmonov again, but that was last fight. So we got Volkov coming off a win against Garzinho Rosenstruck. So, I mean, he's no punk for sure. And that was a TKO win for Volkov. He did lose to Tommy Aspinall, but I mean, kind of who doesn't right now, right? And he lost to Cyril Gane. So, but he had a pretty good win against Alistair Overeem, which we'll go over in just a minute. Alexander Rokhmonov, this dude, his nickname is King Kong, and he fucking throws fools. He picks up the biggest motherfuckers and throws them around. He's got like crazy blast double legs. But he is coming off a loss to Marcin Tybura. Before that, he was on a holy shit. He was on a pretty good win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight win streak until he lost to Marcin Tybura. He beat Chase Sherman. That's about the biggest name on his. But like I said, he's got crazy grappling and wrestling and throws, man. He likes to throw people for sure. So let's check out Alexander Volkov first. He does have these crazy stabbing kicks like he did against Walt Harris here. You know, that stabbing kick to the gut like that definitely hurts the hell out of you. Digging those toes in the solar plexus like that, it's nasty. And Walt Harris was not having it and not happy about it. But yeah, that's Volkov for you. And then he just follows it up with a lot of punches and gets that dub. All right, here we go. What I was talking about with Alistair Overeem. I mean, he hit Overeem so damn hard. Overeem was like done. He looks like a little kid who just got punched in the face. And then he turns around like, mommy. Which is fucked up. You know, Alistair was not doing well at the end of his UFC career there. I think Overeem is back, though. He's on the juice and winning some kickboxing fights and back to his old ways. But, yeah, Volkov took him apart, made him look like a little child. So yeah, he's dangerous. I'm looking at him probably getting this win, but this is what I was talking about with Rokhmonov. Look at that crazy blast double, just fucking bulldozes the shit out of his opponent, who's Delima. But yeah, that's impressive. That's a hell of a takedown. And it's like a fucking truck just coming at you, hitting you. And then he picks up this big ass motherfucker and just throws him like he's a fucking ragdoll. So when it comes down to it, I mean, that's some great strength to suplex the shit out of a big dude like that. And I mean, Rokhmonov is not small at all by any means, but I mean, that guy, wow, that's a big motherfucker to be throwing around like that. So we'll see if he can manipulate Volkov that way and throw him around as well. That might settle those strikes and those kicks, but he's got to avoid that first. So moving on to the main event, we got Petr Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili. Both some names that are hard to pronounce, especially when I've been talking this long. But that's all right. Me personally, I'm going for Merab in this one. Petr Yan just, I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way for some reason. I don't know. I don't like the dude that much. He's coming off a loss to Sean O'Malley, which a lot of people thought was not a loss, but hey, in the end, he lost. So that's all there is to it. And that is actually, let me see here. That's actually like his third loss in a row. Okay, second loss in a row. So he's coming off two losses, one to Aljamain, where he fought Eljo for the title again, for the second time and lost. Split decision, but it was a loss. He also lost a split decision to Sean O'Malley. That's the one I was just talking about. In between there, he got a win against Corey Sandhagen. Another goddamn decision. That was unanimous, though. And then, before that, was that where he initially lost the belt to Aljamain Sterling with that illegal knee, which I'll be showing here in just a second. He was looking great up until then. I mean, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in a row. And he had the belt. He beat Jose Aldo, Uriah Faber, Jimmy Rivera, John Dodson, Douglas Silva de Andrade. I mean, fuck, he's got a lot of names there that he beat. But he made that mistake against Aljamain Sterling. And, he got a great win against Corey Sandhagen. But, I mean, he lost again to Aljo when he fought for the belt again. So, yeah, that one mistake really fucked with him. And he just hasn't been able to put it back on track. Now, he's fighting Merab, who is on, let's see, Merab lost his first 2 fights in the UFC, right? Wasn't looking good for him. But then he went on a crazy win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight win streak right now. Beating the likes of Brad Katona, who's actually on this season of The Ultimate Fighter with Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. That's the fucking name out. Oh no, not Michael Chandler. Yeah, Michael Chandler, but the name I was thinking of earlier was somebody else. Damn it. Whatever. Anyway, beat Casey Kenny, John Dodson, Cody Stamen, Marlon Moraes, and Jose Aldo. So fucking Merab is just killing the game. A lot of his wins are by decision, unfortunately, but that's because he does what these guys do. He takes people down, he punishes them on the ground, and he doesn't let them up. So it's going to go to decision. I wish he would get more, punches in there, more TKOs on the ground, or more submissions. He did beat Moraes by TKO punches, but the rest of his wins are pretty much by decision. Now, a lot of you might think that means it's going to be boring, but he makes it exciting. Like I said, with his nickname being the Machine. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my throat, but we'll add it to the list of things that have been going around for me this week. But anyway, with a nickname like the Machine, like I said, Merab's a badass. So, Piotr Jan, beating Jose Aldo, he landing some great strikes and great punching. It's Jose is at the tail end of his career here, so it is what it is. But still, to beat somebody like Aldo, him and Merab have both beat Aldo. So, but yeah, he's got really good striking. He's a small, compact guy, but he packs a big punch, and if he catches you, he's gonna catch you good and hard. So, Merab's got to be ready for that one. But here we go. Oh crap! I pushed the wrong thing again. Of course, I couldn't go through yet another round of stuff without pushing the wrong thing again. Anyway, here's that illegal knee, though. That's what I was looking for. So, I mean, it's pretty clear. Aljamain Sterling was getting beat, okay? There's no way around it. He was getting beat in that fight. But it's clear as day that he had his knee down. And Jan just completely fucking knees him in the head. And a lot of people were talking shit about Aljo, putting on a fucking complete show with the act and all that. But I mean, you tell me if you want to get kneed in the fucking head like that. Holding his head down and just kneeing him straight up in the fucking head, like, yeah, it sucks. And he couldn't go on. So by disqualification, Peter Jan fucking lost his belt to Aljo and never got it back. At least not yet. So, and Merab is a training partner of Aljamain Sterling. So this is going to get interesting if Merab beats Jan. That's going to bring Merab up in the standings, which means if Aljo beats Henry Cejudo, if that fight still goes through, then yeah, I mean, you might be seeing Merab versus Aljo, which they said would never happen. So then I think what will happen is Aljo's going to relinquish the belt so Merab can fight for the belt, and he's going to go up in weight. But, that's yet to come. We'll see what happens there. But here's Merab, taking people down. This is what he does. Takes them down, gets him in a dominant position, and, punishes the hell out of everyone. Just like this. So that's what Merab's looking at. Peter Jan has to stay off the ground if he wants to, make this a competitive fight. Otherwise, if he gets taken down, I don't know that he's going to be able to get up for Merab, holding him down. And if he does get up, Merab will just take him back down again. Like I said, 13 takedowns in one fight. That's a record. Merab has almost beat that record a couple times. So that's just what he does. He'll take you down and he'll keep you there. And if you don't stay there, he'll take you down again. So I'm rooting for Merab in this fight, but enjoy those fights. That's going down Saturday on ESPN Plus as usual. And yeah, it's a Vegas fight, so I assume it's going to be early evening into the, probably like 5 o'clock prelims, 7 o'clock, main card, or 5 o'clock main card. Sometimes they do it a little earlier. That's usually Apex, so I'm sure it'll be on normal time. But yeah, that wraps it up for that. And that wraps it up for me. I'm gonna stop, clear my throat, and coughing in your ear now. Again, I'm besides a couple stupid button pushes here and there because I get off track, not too bad. So I should knock on some wood and shake my entire camera so that because I still got to make sure everything recorded well and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm tightening it up. I'm trying my best. I got this new laptop that should help a lot. And then on top of that, like I said, I got some plans for some guests coming up. Fingers crossed. Might get some really good guests coming up, and obviously we're gonna have other good guests too, like returning guests like Clark and Patrick, hopefully. And we'll see. Hopefully we'll have a watch party podcast again here sometime soon. I got a lot of good stuff coming. I'm planning on trying to just make things better and better, like I always say. And yeah, so be on the lookout for that. Catch me again next week. I will be out of town for the next pay-per-view, but I'm still gonna have the podcast on Thursday. I'm gonna be in Vegas again for my wife's birthday, but yeah, I'm gonna be probably watching the fights on my phone or whatever. That's a London card, so that's gonna be on like early in the day anyway. So, but yeah, I'll definitely have the podcast next week to preview all that. Do a little recap of this fight, see what happens with Marab and Peter Yan. Um, yeah, that's about it. So catch me again next Thursday, same time and place. Uh, check out my social media that I've had there on the bottom going through. Going Rounds podcast everywhere except for Twitter. It's Going Rounds Pod. Like and follow me everywhere on there. I try to post a lot of good shit. And you'll find out about the podcast coming out and everything like that. If you like audio only version, you can catch me on all the platforms. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere. And yeah, go follow me there. Just rate it, review it, tell me if you like it. Like this video and share it with somebody, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for the support. I appreciate you, Patrick and Clark, in the chat. Yeah, and if you guys are watching this later, drop some comments in if you want to, and any questions you got, I get all of it, and I'll respond as I can. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks again. Enjoy the fights this weekend. Watch Bellator, watch UFC, and we'll see you next week. All right. Let me get my shit together again. Of course, I'm never ready, but that's all right. All right, guys. Check you guys later. Peace.